What's my high quality studio here? My iPad resting on a keyboard so that it doesn't fall down, so that I can actually lie down in bed when I'm talking to you. That
Yeah.
studio, that,
Yeah.
that high class studio.
It's all good, man.
And yes,
It's
I
all
have
good.
clothes on,
Yeah.
just in case anybody's thinking. It's a family show, guys. Okay, it's a family show.
Oh, man. Welcome to This Commerce Life. This is a podcast aimed at small, medium entrepreneurs focused on commerce. I'm Phil, your host, and Kenny, your co-host, will join us as well. And we're going to talk to you about the world of retail and commerce and how things are changing in the world. You know what? I've definitely been hanging around I've been working too hard. I was just looking around my desk and I got like 3 coffee cups down here and like a water and I have a regular water mug that I use, so that's down here. Now I got a cup of tea I'm working on. Like, I'm clearly spending too much time in my basement.
You know what? It's funny, but yeah, I got up, like I don't get up early, right? I'm downstairs almost every morning at 8. And yesterday I went downstairs. Before I know it, it's 1:30. I was going to go do all these things down maybe at one of the warehouses or whatever, get 50,000 calls.
Yeah.
I've got a dinner meeting at 6. 4:30, I figured, I guess I better shower because I haven't got off the couch yet. I've been hanging all day.
Yeah.
And, then out for dinner till almost 10 o'clock, right? And that's like the whole week has sort of been that way. Today, I got nothing done. I was in meetings all day.
Yeah.
It's good, right? But, yeah, so I'm looking at Amelia tonight. She goes, what do you do? I said, well, I do the podcast.
Yeah.
And then I said, I think what? I said, if you're going to work, I'll work.
Yeah.
I said, see if I can bury another 2-3 hours worth of crap tonight and get some stuff done.
Yeah, man, it's just been, you're trying to hustle and get all this work done, but it's just, it's all this hustling and trying to get work done, right?
Well, exactly. And wait till stuff start, I'm sure you get stuff when stuff starts hitting.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, and you don't want to give up anything.
Yeah.
But you get to the point, I told her, I was joking with her the other day. I said, honestly, to get to the point, I think, we may have to look at hiring somebody. I said, because I can't. I don't want to turn anything down.
Yeah.
But I also want to make sure that I'm giving everybody,
Yeah.
A fair shake. I don't want to. Anyway, it's all good. I mean, if this is the problems, like really.
No, yeah, they're great problems to have. Honestly, they're great problems.
Anybody who's our age out there who's still working behind a desk, and is scared shitless to do it, there's shitloads of work out there. Shitloads of work. Don't be scared.
So
don't be scared.
So don't be scared. But so the one thing that I'm learning along the way, and I think entrepreneurs get awfully anxious. I get anxious about it, but I was doing the math on so I've been at this, March. So what is that? April, May, June. So I'm like 3.5 months in, right? Almost nothing. But I've done pretty well. Like I've got a couple of regulars. I've got this teaching gig on the side. I've done a whole bunch of like short 3-hour, 4-hour, kind of lots of contracts. But the one thing that still bugs me is payment terms. And I know, so it's funny, right? Because as a buyer, I understood payment terms and cash flow and all that crap. But now that I'm an entrepreneur, I understand it, and it makes me anxious, right? Because like work I did 30 days ago is really just coming in from a payment perspective. And so, on paper, I've made lots of money, right? But but my bank book is like, you haven't made squat, man. Like, where's all the money,
But that'll come too. Like once you get going, I mean, what happens is like I'm just always a month behind.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, I'm up to date because it doesn't matter, because it's as long as it's always a month behind, it's only the shits at the beginning.
Yeah.
After a while, if it's always on 3 weeks late, well, it's not 3 weeks late. It's just when it is.
Yeah.
Because next month is the same, and it's the same, so it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah. And I think that's it's a tough one to learn, and I'm learning it. But gosh, it's like, but I understand it, right? Like I understand, when you're a business and you're trying to put some process in play, you don't want to pay everybody right away. Like it's the same game. Everyone's trying to push out payments, because it's better for cash flow to hang on to your cash as long as you can.
Well, for sure.
So I get it. I just,
Well, what terms you giving everybody?
30 days.
Oh,
That's
okay, you're
usually
very nice.
30 days. Yeah.
I do 14.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I'm small.
Yeah.
It's not like my. I'm not $100,000 PO.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, how hard is it to pay a couple $1,000
Right.
in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Really?
No, that's legit.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think that's unreasonable. And like I said, I mean, it's only now. I mean, you basically you were months behind a while ago. Now you're catching up, and it's going into sort of the groove.
Yeah.
But at least you're making money. Like I didn't do when I left London in what? I left London in middle of June of 16.
Okay.
Went to Europe. I went to Euro, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Came back. I was gonna take summer long, 2 days because I can't. I just get anxious. I got to keep busy. So I try. I spent a bunch of time. I don't think I billed more than, I don't even think I billed more than $6,000 from the time I left London to the end of 16.
Okay.
Right. I mean, I was constantly getting, finding things, doing stuff.
Yeah.
But they were all small. I honestly, I was always okay, but you're thinking, I was getting to the point I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing people got to understand. Yeah, if you're going to freak out a little bit, take a breath of air.
Yeah.
Because now it's not even, it's just 2 years old. Almost, just over 2 years. Last Friday was 2 years.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Now I'm thinking, shit, I have to hire somebody.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Take a breath of air.
So when did you, I want to do this because I do hear this a lot, and I think our listeners are probably in this boat. So I think if there are listeners out there who are feeling like this, I'd love to hear how you manage it. It's like, so when the first time that you felt the panic, right? How did you, do you have coping mechanisms? Like, do you kind of, I mean, pot is now legal in Canada, right? So do you go out and smoke pot legally? Do you go out and I have a buddy who goes out and walks. He walks or he drives when he's freaking out.
I walked a ton.
Okay.
Like myself, I walked a ton.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was getting super anxious. Like for the first 6 months, I mean, I never regretted. Not one single day did I regret leaving.
Yeah.
But did I have fears? 100%.
Yeah.
And months later, to the point where, I was thinking of going back to another job. I would never go back to what I had. I've done.
Yeah.
Honestly,
you don't go back.
An ounce of regret, not an ounce. But I did consider going back to an office job in about October of 16, and I thought, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna hang this. I'm just gonna lean in.
I'm gonna lean in, Kenny. I'm gonna lean.
I don't know what the hell that means. You guys and your terminology, man. I'm not. We're West Coast, man. We're not corporate.
That damn phrase after you and Kelly Einstein, it's like all it does is haunt me, that damn phrase. So
it's not just that one; it's a multitude of them.
Wait, I have more? I don't have more. Do I have more?
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to a few of the podcasts, right? Because if I hear you say thinking out of the box or anything like that, or what's it, managing expectations, or all the cute little buzz lines and
shit, I might say managing expectations.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you know what? Once you're out in the street, after a while, the language gets worse, and the phrases just more street.
Well, Jim said. Jim said that I got our friend Jim, who's on the show. He said that I got saltier after I left Hubba.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, and I told him I didn't realize I did that. So I did go back and kind of listen to the first ones. I don't know if I'm saltier or I'm just more comfortable. Do you know like the early days we were kind of we're sitting up straight in chairs and trying to make things happen. Now we kind of lounge around because we know what we're doing, so to speak. So.
Right. I think just in better spots, right? I mean, like I said, everything's going okay.
Yeah.
I mean, sort of finished that. By October, I wanted to get a new job.
Yeah.
And then I thought, screw this. I'm not doing this. I'm going to give myself, I said I would give myself at least until, a good 9 months. Right? January clipped around. not much going on, but started to get some stuff. February started building.
Yeah.
March started building. April, I'm just flying, right?
Yeah.
And then every month since not this past April, the one prior, every month has been a good month.
Yeah. Nice.
Right? And,
nice.
And a bunch more coming forward. I got another client I'm going to go see. I got 2 clients I'm going to go see on Friday.
Nice. I like it. That's awesome.
You know what I mean? Out of the blue, like just, referrals or people just reaching out saying, listen. And I think a few of them actually, because of the podcast, have said, listen, do you mind? I need a little, whatever, sure. I'll tee it up. You saw my influencer things, eh? We digress.
Yeah.
So if you're a new listener, this is what happens, because basically thought in mind has to spit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
See the influencers? Not bad, eh?
Yeah. No, I like it. I like it a lot.
You should see the spikes on the webpage, man.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the numbers going, hey, you got traffic and you got stuff going on.
Yeah. Come on.
I like it.
Don't know shit of what I'm doing, but man, I
No, you're doing it. You're doing it. I mean, that's like everyone says fancy stuff about like SEO and search engine optimization, but the truth is like that's the most natural stuff, right? Is like when an influencer talks about you, they talk about you, they mention you by name, your search rankings go up, right? Like so people start to see you, right? Like that's all it is, right? Like it's so.
I think you're right. I mean, I'm lucky. I've got like I want to read this. I've got two like really really nice girls who are going to start doing some. One's named Sweet Tatas.
Yeah.
I think she's out of California. And the other one is Faded and Paradise, one word.
Okay.
Just south of us in the States. But right, they're awesome. They're awesome women. They're taking pictures. They're excited. They love the samples. I just love working. I mean, they're just nice to work with. I got them. So the Jiva has their own website called Elemental. And it's their e-com platform.
Okay.
But I'm actually going to get it. I've got it so that basically I've even sent the two girls separate promo codes for themselves. So if they share with their friends, families, or followers, and the people do go on and purchase, if they tag the promo code, first off they get 15% off their entire order.
Yeah.
And I'll kick them back a commission if
nice. Nice.
You want so you can do. I mean, I'd like to pay them if I could, but
but it's a start. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, people have been really good. So
that was pretty stoked, man. That was sort of your idea. It's not MailChimp. It was
no, but in some senses this is better, right? Like this is what you needed, right? You needed grassroots and you needed a couple of just true blue authentic influencers, and that's what you got. Yeah. So
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. It's very cool.
So go on Instagram, take a look at 420 Grasshoppers Gourmet, and you'll see and their stuff's neat, right? They do cool stuff. I was showing Amelia today; she was laughing her guts out.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny.
No, I think it's great. Like, and the posts are great, and I think they're pretty darn cool. So
yeah, I like that lady. Kelly was really nice, eh?
Kelly's really
she's
great.
She's pretty cool. Like she's got a neat thing going.
Yeah.
Not bad, eh? She's got a pretty cool gig going.
Yeah.
She's got to be pretty proud of herself. That's
They're super tenacious,
coming from
right?
corporate, making it probably a swag of money.
Yeah.
To going and basically, she said she sold the house in the end, right?
Yeah, she sold the house to run the biz, right? Like that's
pretty ballsy. Eh?
Yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm and she's just. It's also like she's just a really great human being. Like she kind of sees. I've known her. It's funny because I met her when I was at Hubba, my first Super Zoo. I met her, and I literally I was kind of looking at award winners, and she had won an award, and so I popped over. I was doing this piece for Hubba on, do awards matter, right? So what do you do with an award when you win it? Like, do you just throw it on your shelf, or can you do marketing with it? And so I went over and I started talking to her. Next thing you know, like that's what we're doing. We're yakking it up, and she just seemed like a really good human being, and like she's one of those guys that she's one of those gals that just comes through. Like when she says she's going to do something, she does it. Like and she's just real salt of the earth,
Yeah, she seemed it. Like she did. And pretty impressive for she came from a corporate world, but organized and like just got her shit together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going back because I do like you do. Sometimes I actually listen to our podcast
Yeah.
to make sure we don't sound like complete idiots,
Yeah.
right? Leave a little doubt for people. And it's actually better when we have guests. We actually sound a lot smarter when we have a guest
We do.
because they get to do some talking. So I think it
Yeah.
kind of nullifies us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
No,
It's true.
I thought, wow, she's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. She was pretty cool. Oh God, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking to a New Zealand brand that Kelly connected me to,
Yeah.
and I'm looking to work with her, and she's got some really great products, but she's shoestringing it, eh? She's got a day job. When I talked to her, she was like, "Hey, listen, like, I said to her, like, I'm just doing some quick audits of your stuff and like your digital media stuff, like your social seems a little off." She goes, "Yeah, we just don't, she's like, I don't have any cash, so I do this by myself, but I don't really understand all this stuff, right?" And so, like, I'm probably going to help her for almost next to nothing, right? But it's super rewarding because you look at it and go,
Yeah.
God, like, what you're trying to do, like, like she's not making crap for the love of making crap. She's
Yeah.
really making good stuff, and she truly believes that she can make a difference in the world, and I think she can too. So I know, right? So, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to help her, and then, like, we'll see what happens. But it's super cool. Like, those are the things that get me so excited, right? Like, to be able to wake up in the morning and go,
too.
I'm just helping, right? Like,
Yeah.
Obviously it's bad for business to help everybody who can't pay you, but
But you know what? Whatever, man. It's not. There's bigger things in life to worry about. So you don't make a couple pennies.
Yeah.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's not like you're gonna miss a meal.
No. I mean, yeah, and I'm there with you, right? Is like but you just
rails.
couldn't fill your day with, people who need help that are help worthy but can't pay you, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
Like, you do got to get paid somewhere
job.
along the way, but
Well, that's your that could be a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't pay well then. I mean, there's nothing that. But
Yeah.
you know what? I think after all these years, I think a sort of pro bono here and there.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, man. Who gives a shit? Again, you're not gonna miss a meal. It's not gonna impact your world.
No.
It's not gonna impact your world pretty much at all, and it could impact their world immensely.
Yeah.
So big deal.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you're right. I mean, you can't do. I mean, time withers away, but
Yeah.
one or two, one here, one there, whatever.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's funny because you put on so many different hats, and I've been very used to kind of disseminating knowledge and just teaching what I know. But the one regular I've had, she hired some kind of younger folks to help out in the business. But when you're an owner, you move because every minute matters to you, and every dollar matters to you. And when you hire people, it doesn't always matter as much to them, right? And it doesn't mean they don't care about the business or anything like that. They just don't have the same sense of urgency.
Buddy, bottom line, it's not their business.
No, it's not. It's not.
Right?
And so
that's not a mean thing. It's reality.
Yeah. And so I've kind of, stepped in to coach some inner game with her, in terms of like how do you manage employees a little bit differently, and then how do you give them tools to keep them on track, right? So I've turned into, for anyone who knows me that's listening to this podcast, will laugh because I'm not this guy, but for them I am. I've turned into a bit of a project manager for them. Kenny's shaking his head already, and God, like anyone else listening to this that knows me has probably just died or driven off the road or something, because I am not like I am a full creative. I was telling I think it makes it in the podcast, but at the beginning of this episode, I was telling Kenny I've got like 3 cups and 2 water mugs at my desk, and like it's a disaster, right? Because I'm just a creative type. But like for them, they need it, right? And so I've built them a full marketing calendar. I'm acting taskmaster. Last week she was on the call, started down diatribe lane, and I went, listen, I'm sorry, I got to cut you off. Like, we only got 2 hours, and we need to get some stuff done, and we're not going to get them done. So, like, where are you on this? And she was like, I haven't done that yet. I'm like, okay, so you know what day it is, right? So today you need to get this done, because otherwise I don't get approval. I don't get anything. And she was like, oh my God, what is happening here?
What's happening is we're going to get serious and quit farting around.
Yeah. You know, and I was like, look, you need it. You said you needed it in your business, so guess what I'm doing? I'm doing it. So, you know, like, oh my God.
It's hard though, right? Because again, and you know what? It's a funny thing. It's like, I think we talked about it last week or maybe the week before. Is do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
And you get that way. Like, you tell people, and they say, well, you don't just. It doesn't matter what I do. We're not talking about me.
No, we're not talking about me. You know, but I am kind of a taskmaster in my own business too, right? Because you gotta get crap done. Like, you know, it's different. Like, I gotta move, right? I gotta get stuff done, but you know. Yeah.
I miss my old people.
Yeah.
I miss my Carolyns and Jennies and Danielles and Fridas. I miss my people because they were so good to me and got me out of so much shit. And they knew I was pretty much as close to useless as you were going to get, and they took care of me. Like, honestly, like, I swear to God, London Drugs should put them on freaking pedestals, because the amount of money I made that company, most of it was because they made sure I wasn't stupid enough to fuck something up, which I was more than capable of doing without even trying too hard.
Yeah. I don't think you can understate that enough. Like, I think you've got your team, and I didn't like, my team was not that big, but I had you know,
20 people sort of almost. I probably had 2 people that really they didn't report to me, but were really like helping me.
Yeah.
But I think most people, I think they all felt sorry for me. Right. I do. I really do. I think they really thought the guy is probably a relatively nice guy and he tried hard. But he's pretty much useless on a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
And we can either sit there and pretend that he's actually going to do it and do it right, or we can just do it for him. And then because he's a whoppy kid.
Yeah.
If someone's going to help him, of course he's going to say sure.
Yeah.
But they did. They helped me go all the time.
But I think
ridiculous.
But I think there's beauty in that relationship, right? Like, so I had this analyst who didn't report to me, but we worked really closely together, named Shannon, and God bless her, right? Like, she was the one. Like, she'd go, look, like, I'm the method girl, right? So you put it in my hands, and I'll turn it into a process. I'll turn it into a grid. Like, it goes in an Excel sheet, and it never goes away, you know. But you don't do that, so don't do that. Like, go keep doing the crazy things that you do, right? Because you find good products. You figure out who the good vendors are, you know, and if I get a vendor, you know, when you find a good vendor, you pass them my way. If I break them or they start to abuse me, I'm going to send it back, and you're going to slap them back into shape, right? And so we had this great, you know, kind of balanced life. But I was like you, like I you know, without her, life is way more terrible, right? Like, you know, when she went on vacation, like, you know, flyers didn't get done right, you know.
Well, exactly. All the stuff, you know, people start looking, they think, are you really this useless?
Yeah.
What's happened? I said, well, she's not here today.
Yeah, I don't know how to do
it's
this.
Holidays. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how to do this shit. Like, usually I drop it here, and I send an email, and then she takes care of it, right? Like,
don't you know what you're doing? I said, well, no, really, because I don't usually do this.
Yeah.
And I had people used to say, well, that's supposed to be your job. I said, well, it might be.
But
it's supposed to be sort of my job, but
it's not.
You're helping me do it, and quite frankly, I never really learned after this. And now I don't know what to do, and when they're gone, like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Seriously, I hated when they took holidays. I hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it. Because I'd be thinking, I gotta.
Yeah. I think the challenge for small businesses when you're an entrepreneur, how do you find that team? You know, and trust them a little bit while still trying to, you know, instill enough skepticism to get the work done if it's not going to get done for you, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And it's hard. Like, you know, now I'm working for the companies that are, you know, not 7,500 employees anymore. You know, I'm working for companies that are, you know, 10, maybe up to 50.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, everybody's wearing so many more hats, and the systems aren't in play.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more haphazard, right?
Yeah.
And again, you rely on your support team like so much because they're typically the ones that get all the shit done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to have the ideas. I mean, you need idea people like, I guess, you and I and a few of, people I know.
Yeah.
But quite frankly, if you let the ideas run with it.
No.
But you know what it is? Shiny object, this idea. And then, if it's too much work, I just go to the next idea.
No, yeah. Yeah, or right? Halfway through this idea, you get a better idea.
Well, that's and the thing
which is really normal,
the better
right? So
is so much more fun and new.
Yeah.
Why would I waste my time on the old idea?
Yeah. That's also the fun of having a really great team because you can go, okay, I did the fun part, right? I'm gonna throw it at you guys. You guys will finish it, and then I've gone. I'm doing something different now, right? So I'm doing something else fun.
Well, and the thing is, they look at you, and I know a lot of them that, what I did wasn't their cup of tea.
Yeah.
They didn't want it. They didn't want the responsibility and the travel and the management.
Yeah.
Right? But what you try to do is make sure they don't discount their role.
Yeah.
Because their roles typically were much more critical than even my role.
Yep.
My role was obviously very critical to the success of the company and making money, and I get all that.
Yeah.
But you don't have the crew behind you, even at store level. Like, if they don't buy into what you're doing, you can be the greatest buyer on the planet. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
It's true.
The support team behind you needs to be solid.
Yeah.
Right? That's sometimes what I miss when I work with a lot of the small companies. Because you look at it and you think, you guys, there are too many idea people here.
Yeah.
You need the doers, and it's not meant as a downgrade. You need the worker bees. You need the ones that are going to say, listen, we're going to get this shit done.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the creative stuff. It's not my cup of tea. I like doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
and
agree.
Put value in those people. I guess what we're both saying. Don't discount them.
I
you're
think
dead without them.
Yeah, I think you're
right.
Like if I ever get big enough to have a person, the first person is going to be, that executor, right? The one that sees boxes and grids and Excel sheets, because that's you know what I mean? Like, I think any great ideator has, an executor right beside him, that you trust implicitly, and that's the one that brings structure to your life, right? So
they have to.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, you probably know as many people. I know a lot of people with great ideas. You know why they go nowhere?
Yeah. Because
they don't have anybody around to actually help them.
Yeah.
And they're not smart enough at times, quite frankly. And I'll take a shot at them. They're not smart enough to understand that.
Yeah.
It's not your gig. You're not good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Come up with the idea, but have people around you that understand it, can get excited about it, but actually execute it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Right?
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Man.
Anyway, there's the accolades to our old staff that we miss dearly. How's that?
I know. It is true. It is true, man. Man, oh man.
That's it. Now I've got to go back to work downstairs and do all the admin shit that I am brutal at.
Chop, man. That was my day today too. I did finances. I did invoices. I did.
I'm so slow.
All that crap.
So slow at it. And I just swear all the way through it. I don't enjoy it.
What's the thing that you hate the most? Like, so for me, it's all the logging, like trying to figure out where the cash is going, right? Like all the monthly expenses. What did I spend more this month? That sort of thing. Invoices is,
Hey, right?
Yeah.
And all I do is I get shit when there's tax time.
Yeah.
And world is literally that shoebox world.
Yeah.
That's just chaos. And, so now I'm spending so much time. I think she was actually almost proud of me. I had spreadsheets for my invoices.
Nice.
The GST was all there.
Yeah.
Copies of all my invoices.
Yeah.
Well, she wasn't proud of me for some stuff because I kind of fucked things up. But anyway. And then I had a whole bunch of other stuff that I did. And I kind of gridded and I tried to do it, because honestly, that whole exercise pains me.
Yeah.
Just pains me. And writing an invoice pains me. Not because I don't want the money. I hate doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every time I'm doing this, I think, oh my God, what a waste of time. This is taking me so fucking long. I don't like this. It's not working. The numbers aren't crunching.
So do you do everything? Are you a spreadsheet guy or are you an app guy? Like, do you find because I think that's another thing too. Like for entrepreneurs, free software or things like that can help them
You got to be willing to try them. I guess I'm probably a little bit of a dinosaur in some things. Like I do like spreadsheets.
Yeah.
But probably be more than anything because I'm just comfortable with them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So am I wasting some time doing them? Yeah, probably. Is there 50,000 apps out there that I should be using? Yeah, probably. Right.
Yeah.
I seriously, probably. Like even to take notes, I don't use Evernote and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got so many notes on my calendar. Is that where it should be? No. But you know what? That's for me. That's sort of what works.
Yeah. Yeah. I started using because I'm a shoebox sort of guy, and I hate it. So I actually started using Expensify. It's an app on your phone, so you take pictures. I take pictures of every receipt I get. I take a picture of. So I never.
You know how many I've lost this year?
Yeah.
I haven't lost any, just in case Amelia's listening. They're all put away somewhere in an envelope.
They're carefully filed.
Chronologically. I have no fucking idea where half this shit is. I have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. So I use Expensify. It's free. I think you get like a dozen entries before you either gotta manually enter stuff or pay for the upgrade. I don't even know what the upgrade costs, but the free is great. So I take a picture, and then it automatically, like the first dozen or 15 entries they auto recognize them. So you don't do any work. You just take a picture of it, and you can throw your receipt away, and you're good.
You don't do any work. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Because it basically scans it, and it recognizes the vendor.
Expensify report, right? Receipt.
Yeah. So I use that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. You can produce PDFs and all sorts of things like that. It's kind of cool. And then I've been invoicing. I think it's called Blue Wave.
Another one? Jesus.
Yeah, well, because invoices, I just can't. If I have to do them by Excel, I'll never bill. I'd rather just not get paid. If Kathy's listening, I didn't say that, but I did.
Didn't say that out loud. Yeah,
but I did. Because it'll drive me insane. So, the hell's this thing called?
I kind of like this.
Oh no, Expensify I use to track receipts, like all my receipts. Like so, I went to the NSGA. I had to charge back all my expenses. I literally went into Expensify, created a new report that has NSGA through everything from May 20th to 22nd in there, and then exported it and sent it to them. So they got a PDF with itemized receipts, and then all the scans of all the receipts. So literally my expense report to them took 10 minutes, I think. Which is like.
So you're just shooting receipts.
Yeah. You just
like
shoot
your
them.
Dinner receipts.
Yeah. And then you can file them. So like when you click on them, you can there's a internet interface to it, so you can go online, and then you can at the end of the month, if you want to go through them, and so I've been doing a lot of this is a recurring monthly receipt, so I want to put that in a monthly expense bucket, so I have an operating budget that I can literally go into and just go, holy crap, how much money did I spend on coffee this month? Like that sort of thing. And then you can also create reports for, like mine. Like I spoke at Global, I spoke at NSGA. Now I'm filing, all of my stuff into NSGA so that I know what I spent to get to NSGA or what they expense back to me.
Yeah.
So it's really great for that, but it doesn't. Expensify, I don't think, does invoices and things like that. So.
There's something here that I think said that.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
Or maybe another one. I got app happy. Now I'm messing now. This is what happens. Now I'm distracted right now.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to screw up the rest of your night now.
Shit like this, right? You can't like when we're doing these podcasts, you can't throw shit like this at me. Because then I'm distracted, right? Thinking, oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool.
Well, and so the other one, the one I use is Wave Invoicing, and they're a Toronto-based company. The invoicing portion is free. So it's super simple to do invoices in here. It offers you a ton of options, especially if you're new at it. It templates your invoices. So it all comes out looking really nice, and then it manages all of your information. So all you do is add a new contact, and it puts it all in the right places for you. So you never have to you don't have to waste any time on formatting. You don't have to waste any time on anything like that. And what's really neat is I didn't realize they have that, but you can track. So Wave you might like even more because they're a little bit like QuickBooks or these guys because they'll take your invoices.
They've got an accounting app. They got
Yeah.
receipts app.
Yeah.
And an invoice app.
Yeah, and then it plugs in. So I think I can take Expensify and plug it into Wave. So I can take all the invoices I scan and just have them transfer in here so that it starts to give you a full cash flow for the month.
This is
do you know what I mean?
Cool, man.
Yeah. And then so
Like even
yeah, and so one of the things I have a U.S. client who we had this absurd conversation today because we're in the 21st century, and I invoiced her, and she said, well, I don't, so I've been doing Interac payments for Canadian consumers, like Canadian customers, and PayPal. And she was like, listen, I don't do PayPal, I don't get along with them at all, and my bank doesn't do Interac to Canada. So, so now I'm going, so what, you're going to cut me an old school check? Like the check is in the mail, right? And so Wave actually has...
And then what do you do with it?
I know, right? So, but the thing is, Wave actually has a pay portal in here as well. So, I think for free guys, it's kind of expensive. It's like 2.9% of the transaction, and then there's another 1% for bank transfers. So if she uses it, it'll wind up costing me like 3.5% or something. But they do have the option, which I really like, right? Because now you're kind of, so it'll probably force me to look at their paid option, which I'm also fine with because I do use it and I'll probably really like it. So there's kind of like a million things you can do with it.
Yeah.
And then you can connect your bank accounts, so you can upload your bank statements. The credit card that everyone's frightened of. If you use your credit card, you could load that in here, so then you can start funneling your expenses in here. So you can start itemizing your business and all that kind of stuff. So
very cool shit.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So pretty cool. Might make your life easier.
I can't make it any harder. Well, seriously. Come on, I mean, you got to. I'm already farting around on this, right? This is really cool stuff, right?
It's pretty cool, and it's super simple to use. So, yeah. While I'm on it, the other one that you should fiddle with is
Hey, not too much one night, eh?
Yeah. No, I'll give you one last one. So there's one last one that I use to track my mileage, like when I'm driving places. Because that's the one that always gets me, right? Even when I was a sales guy, CRA, if you're listening, I always track my mileage accurately. But it's kind of a shit show, right? Is trying to figure out where I've been or, when I started my kilometers, all that kind of stuff. So there's one called Everlance that GPS tracks you. And so it knows, it uses your accelerometer, so it knows when you go and when you stop. And so when you stop moving for, I think it's like it's 5 minutes, then it concludes your journey. And then, at the end of the week, you can swipe right to classify it as a work trip, and then swipe left to classify it as a personal or whatever you want. So after like 3 months, I've actually got a pattern, right? Or like I've tracked all my business kilometers now that way without actually having to write a log or anything like that. And because it's a GPS tracker, it's called...
Another app.
I know, it's called Everlance is what it's called.
You know what? See, now the problem is, what's going to happen tonight? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to...
You're not going to get any work done.
I'm going to screw around with this shit.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're all pretty sweet. I mean, oh my God. I don't know what... I'm distracted enough as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Give me more distraction. Give me 6 apps to look at. That'll help the guy out.
I know. Okay, so here, look. So I don't know if can you see my phone? Can you see that?
Pretty good.
Yeah, so this one, for example, this is a personal, so if I swipe it this way, it'll go, oh, what is it? And I'll go, it's personal, so it's gone. That's it. And then like this one, I'm looking at everything in reverse, but that one's a work one, so I'm going to swipe it left, and it's gone. So it filed it as work, right? And so, when you're done with it, it basically gives you it'll basically tell you year to date how many kilometers you're basically tracking towards work and what your work personal balance is, that sort of thing, which is pretty darn cool. Yeah. All right, that's the end of this Commerce Life. We'll be back soon with the next episode. Thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Subscribe. Like us, join us, share us, tell your friends about us. And we hope to see you next time with more commerce news.